Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very, very, very special episode of Passively Offside. My name is Taylor. I'm wearing a jersey from a country that I don't really understand that well.
It's Thailand.
It's Thailand. I have no idea who this team is.
On the back
it's like
Prazarmant Games.
Yeah.
They've got flames though.
They got flames. I got
I
little people somewhere on it. This is my goalkeeper jersey, so I'm wearing it.
It's
Welcome.
legit.
Again, my name's Taylor. Splenda and Nephi with me in the studio. And if you can see, I don't know, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. YouTube's a little weird. We have a very special guest this evening. Before we get to our very special guest, I want to talk very quickly about a goal that we just witnessed from Colorado against Chivas.
So good.
So good.
Oh my gosh.
Can you tell me about that goal real quick?
don't know. They went in the net, something like that.
Okay, thank you, Nephi, for really caring about our game.
Yeah.
No, it was a beautiful turn, beautiful kick. LaBroca,
Yes.
his name?
Nick LaBroca plays for Colorado.
Yeah, great goal. I don't want to talk too much about it, but it looked really
Do
pretty.
you really want me to explain it real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Had two defenders in the top left corner of the box, shielding the ball away. Doesn't even make a full turn, left foot top. So he's on the, if you're looking at the goal from the backside, he's on the top left.
Keeper left.
Keeper left. Has two defenders on the back. Starts moving to his right, left-footed. Top right corner.
Top 90.
Boom.
So pretty.
Beautiful.
All right, let's move past that. It was a beautiful goal, and we just saw it, so we wanted to talk about it real quick. We also have an MLS ball right there, thanks to Splenda. Official. So, as you guys know,
Yes.
Boris is away for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys haven't guessed, Boris is our special guest today. And we're gonna bring Boris on the line in just a second here. Boris, I think you have muted yourself because I can't unmute you. Look, here's Boris. There you are. Boris,
Hi, Boris.
It's great to see you. As you guys know, Boris is at the Dr. Pepper factory trying to isolate all 23 flavors. Boris, how's the search going?
Guys, I'm here. I'm live. I am in Texas. This Dr. Pepper factory has just been the worst people to work with. The only ingredient I've been able to isolate has been water. They're being very secretive. I'm going to go ahead and throw on my costume and try to get away and sneak in and grab as many of those flavors as I can find for you guys. Back to you guys in the studio.
That's quite the costume there, buddy. That's I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, let's go back to Boris and his weird, possibly racist costume for the of the week and the scores. Boris, take it away.
Okay, so when it comes down to our of the weeks, goal of the week, this is hands down going to Diego Valeri. Take a bow. Diego Valeri also got his jersey put up on the Dan Patrick show this week. So, I mean, hey, you get our award for goal of the week and a Dan Patrick jersey. There you go. Save of the week, going to go over to Steve Clark. He's been no stranger to our save of the week board. Player of the week, half the crew, okay, 3 of the guys, gave it to Benny Feilhaber, playing an amazing game against Los Angeles. SKC won 2-1. In my opinion, I feel like Portland wouldn't have gotten that win without Diego Valeri on the field, so Valeri should have won it, in my opinion. But obviously, I'm just one person, not the whole team. The whole team decided Benny Feilhaber. There you go, Feilhaber. When it comes to the scores, I'm sucking, guys. Taylor is now sitting at a 52 of 146. He's narrowed my lead down to only 3 games. I'm at 55 of 146. Brian is at 50 of 144. Neefs, or at Squeebs on the Twitter, is at 48 of 136. And the lovable Splenda is at 43 of 136. We've got a short week this week, so Taylor can either make up some ground on me, or I can leave him in the dust. But you guys won't know till next week. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Boris. This is a very short week, and I'm just looking back at our Boris, you and I actually only have one game different this week, and that's New England versus Columbus. I gave it a draw, and you gave it to the Crew. So most likely the scores aren't going to change too much because we all kind of picked the same people this week.
Chip away at it.
Chip away at it.
Wait, what was that? All of us?
Well,
No, just us.
most of us.
Most
Nephi
of us.
you only have two different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the one
The
is already
one.
paid off.
No, you
I
you
know.
only really have one different, and then there's one game where there's a couple different. But anyway,
Anywho.
let's move past that. Let's cover some news real quick. Boris, I'm gonna drop you out. I love you so much. Thank
Bye,
you so much
Boris.
for
Bye,
coming.
Boris.
Come home.
Come home.
Yeah.
Join us again next week. Boris will probably be around because he actually has good internet now. See you, man. Eject, and I don't want to block him. Okay,
No.
I did that once accidentally,
Oh, that was
and I
bad.
felt really bad about that.
In the
and it took
beginning
us-
of our stage.
It took us like 20 minutes to get that figured out.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah, it was
apparently
so
Google
bad.
makes it really hard to unblock people. So yeah, those are for you now.
Hooray.
Let's
Merry
move
Christmas.
on into some news here. We are actually doing a little bit of news this week, and that's because there's some things that are going on that there's not a ton to talk about. About. Really, the only news I have this week are a couple scores from the EPL v MLS games. We could talk about these, but really it's just more important to know that the MLS is losing.
Hard.
Go ahead and do this,
Well-
and then I want to pose a question.
Okay. I just want to say Seattle drew with Tottenham.
Yep.
Sporting fell 4-1 to Man City. Man United kind of destroyed Los Angeles 7-0.
Wipe the field with them.
7-0.
Get out there, mops and buckets.
Ah!
Wipe the floor with them.
Come on, MLS. And then Tottenham defeated Toronto 3-2, which was actually not, it's not a bad scoreline.
No.
Not too bad. Question, Nephi?
So we knew in the beginning of MLS they started doing this to draw more people to the game, to make
Yep.
people more aware of MLS. Now where MLS is now, do we really see these type of games beneficial? It's in mid-season. It's throwing the calendar off. And to be honest, most teams are throwing second division or even changing a full lineup in KC's case at the second half.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
That every team hasn't been their number one guys in, so that is something. I don't know. I like it though. I get your point, but I like it.
I think with it being a World Cup year, we had that 2-week break already, kind of
Yeah.
throwing a wrench into things. Maybe
Why
only do
not?
one or two. No, maybe only do one or two. Like, I understand wanting to try and boost viewership and play off of the success of the World Cup that we've already seen in new viewers and more people wanting to see the game. But I agree that it's kind of messing things up.
Yeah, and
So-
to be honest, I think it's going to boost viewership up a little bit for the non-MLS fans, which isn't, I don't think, going to be a whole lot. I'd like to see the ratings after these games
Yeah.
to kind of compare to what MLS normal season is, but the biggest thing is money. I think that's the only reason they keep doing it.
There is a post from Boris here who is now blowing us up. Thank you,
Mhm.
Boris. You just keep going. He's still going.
Yeah.
He's still going. He wanted us to know that Man U played the LA Galaxy 2. While that's not technically true,
You did have some starters.
you did have some starters in there, Boris. We all know you don't want to admit that, but they didn't technically play LA 2. But again,
Like we mentioned, most of these teams are playing weak versions of the normal team.
yeah, not every starter was in there. We get that, but at the same time, these EPL teams aren't full strength either.
No, it's their preseason. And to be honest, right now, my feeling is this. I love the ones where it's EPL versus Spanish League, and they're playing on our soil.
Yeah.
And, like the Liverpool and AS Roma game. That's cool because it's not interfering with our schedule.
Yeah.
We can go see teams we don't normally get to see. The stadium's still going to bring in the money.
Yeah, Fenway Park.
Yeah, but leave our season alone. Let's get on with it. I don't want more wrenches being thrown in.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's get on with the season, and these games are fun to watch. But yeah. Anyway, let's actually talk MLS here. I have a question about LA, which I'm sure Boris is going to love hearing about while he's watching the show.
Absolutely.
So LA, they destroyed New England 5-1.
Yes. Yep.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely killed it. Then they lost to Sporting 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's only one game to another, and Sporting is the defending champions.
Yes.
But the big question here comes, is this an upswing for KC? Was that kind of the double game blues for LA? A little bit of both, maybe?
say break even.
Okay.
Biggest reasons, I believe that was one of the first games after the 2 signings for Kansas City.
Okay.
It was at home.
Yep.
Um,
I think that was the day they announced it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you had KC with a lot of strength, and we really know KC has been on a little bit of a slump, and I think that was their slump buster.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Happy against LA, that sucks. Really think LA, though, showing the 5-1, had a lot of good attacking moments. Team's starting to look a little bit better. I think we'll see a better run from them here on out.
Cool.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think it's a lot of emotional momentum behind them.
Yeah.
And it translated into the game.
And Zardes.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, come on,
Oh,
dude.
Goodness.
Jeez.
Keep it
chill
going,
out.
please.
Oh, crap.
Oh, Jason Christ.
Jason Christ.
That's a good one.
It's a really good one.
I
It's
love
a
it.
good one. What, 70 times we have to say that before it becomes a thing in our
Something
minds?
like that.
Something like
I
that.
don't know. I'm doing
We talked about this last week.
We did.
Yeah, that's kind of my feelings on those.
So speaking of sporting, I actually have a fun stat that I looked at. When I made the notes, which was a couple days ago, Sporting has been really liking 2-1 wins recently.
Yeah.
In their last 3 games, they have beat every team they've played 2-1. Coincidence? Lucky? Magic?
Center backs not being together long enough to get a unit back together. That's
Okay.
right. That's what I put it down to.
There's
I
that.
mean, you had Beasler gone for World Cup, came back.
So are you saying that as like they're not scoring more because of that?
No, that's because they're leaking in that goal. Because their
Okay.
center backs aren't.
So we
their
can-
back four's been in a flux for a good
Mhm.
while. And I think we'll start seeing that solidify to the defense that we know KC to have.
Okay. So you're saying we can pretty much expect these two points from KC, but then they're giving that one up.
I think actually we'll start seeing shutouts.
Okay.
Because I think Beasler
Okay.
and guy Baldy,
Colin?
Colin. I don't know.
Aurelian Colin.
Yeah, Aurelian
Aurelian
Colin.
Colin.
Just
They're
have
gonna get
Simon
their-
Borg shout his
I
name
know.
at you a little more.
Right?
Just
We'll have their partnership back together,
ridiculous.
and
Yeah.
we'll see that kind of go away.
Start clicking better.
Cool.
Yeah.
What are you looking at, dude?
I am looking at my battery because I didn't plug my computer in.
Oh,
So
no.
we're going to keep talking while I fix
fine.
things that I broke.
You did a bad.
I did a bad.
All right, moving on to our next.
So let's talk about the Revs a little bit. They have lost. This is actually a really fun stat.
This
Again,
is.
I like this one a lot. The Revs have lost every single game since their May 24th win over DC United.
Yeah.
So since before the World Cup break,
Which seems so long ago.
so long ago,
Wow.
they have lost every single game since then.
It's in my mind.
Did anyone give the Revs a win?
No,
Yeah,
I did.
You, Brandon and Nephi.
They're
I
playing,
did?
They're playing
Brandon and Ethan.
Columbus Crew, who is also having a hard time. And to
Yeah,
be
so
honest,
Brandon and
I
Nephi gave
think,
it.
Mm-hmm.
The Revs are a really young, mismatched team, but when they click, they destroy. They're going up against a Columbus Crew who's having a lot of problems themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really hoping New England gets it together.
If
Because they're fun to watch when they're playing on also.
if this streak continues, Boris is the only one that's going to get that point. Because Boris is the only one that's saying the Crew were going to win. You and I did draw.
We both did a draw.
It's actually I actually really thought about that in my head because Columbus had that really strong front three attack at the beginning where they were just
Mhm.
dominant.
Yep.
And with the injuries they have, well, we see they're not dominant.
Nope.
Nope.
And New England doesn't have injuries. They're just in a weird funk.
Yeah.
Funk, I think, is easier to come out of than injuries.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Just having a general, I don't know if you want to say like a possessive team, like a collective team thought of like, well, I mean, we're going up against, Real Salt Lake, number 1 or number 2 in the West, going up against some of the other teams. They need kind of a lower team to kind of kick around a little bit.
Okay.
Hopefully for them, that'll knock them out of a funk, but
Yeah, they're about evens.
you never know.
Stevens.
Now in the
Yeah,
standings, the Revolution sit 5th in the East with 23 points, and the
Mhm.
Crew sit 7th with 23 points. The Crew have played 1 extra game,
Okay.
and the Revolution have won 2 games more than the Crew, but the Crew have tied more, where the Revolution lose more. So
Going for a draw.
That's actually a really good
I think that's going to be a really good game.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it will be.
When is
back
that
and
game?
forth. That is this weekend.
26 tomorrow, 7:30 p.m.
Yes.
So
That is a game to watch, guys.
Yes.
That is a game to watch
We can-
because it really is 2 teams who have not been playing well,
Mhm.
and hopefully, well, the hope really that
Yeah.
it's not boring and they don't both play like crap and then just kick the ball around.
You
for
know,
90
I was going to
minutes.
say this season, I think, is one of our better seasons where most games are not like, oh, like last year when anyone played Chivas, it was like, oh, they're playing Chivas.
Yeah.
You mean like
We
Montreal
knew
or
what was
DC.
going to happen. Or
if they played
God,
DC.
DC had
Montreal
is
this
an
year?
amazing.
Come on, they have
Well,
10
okay,
points.
They have
but I think-
14 points
I
with
think
19
last
games
year,
played.
though, we had a bigger gap of teams that weren't doing so well. This year, I think it's a closer
It's more
race between a lot of
competitive,
teams,
Mhm.
which is making it a good season
Yeah.
for me.
Interesting stat that I'm glad that you actually kind of sparked this. There are 2 teams in the MLS right now who have less points than the games they've played. That is Montreal Impact with 14 points, 19 games played, and Houston Dynamo with 19 points and 20 games played. Every other team has at least 1 point over their games played.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's just a fun stat
That's
that
just-
I've
it
looked
is,
at.
and Houston's got a big hole to climb out, especially with their signings, if they really think they're going to make a playoff.
Which we'll talk about momentarily.
Where are they sitting on the?
They're
the
ninth.
standings?
They're
wow,
ninth.
Yeah, they got a big.
They got a-
But how many points are they back?
So they're ninth. They are
19.
4 points away from playoff berth from New England. So really, the Eastern Conference is
Is
actually
really-
fairly
really
close.
close.
Besides
Yeah.
the top 2, because you go Toronto is
Mhm.
26 points at number 3,
Yeah.
up to DC who is 34 points, and then Sporting who is 35 points. So the top 2 are pulling away a little bit,
Mhm.
but the entire rest of the table is very compressed.
That'll
With
be-
Montreal is fairly far behind with 9 points away from playoff berth.
So this is kind of a quick tangent.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to the table next year?
What do you mean?
But think about it. We're going to have a New York team
Yeah.
and an Orlando team.
So
Those are 2 Eastern Coast teams.
I could see
Do you see
Kansas
Houston
coming across?
Kansas
Houston
probably
coming
going to come across.
That would be
Oh,
awesome.
man.
I could see Kansas City coming
That
across.
would be fun.
At least one team's got to come across because they already have one
One
extra
extra.
team.
Yeah.
And so if Kansas City came across, it would be 10 on the West and 12 on the East. And I don't think you could really bring anyone else on the West.
Maybe Houston.
You could do
Maybe Houston.
You could do Houston.
Maybe
Put
Houston.
You could
Houston
actually
in
do
the
that
Western
to
Conference.
Texas teams.
FC Dallas. I thought
Or
FC Dallas.
is FC Dallas?
FC
FC
Dallas
Dallas
is
is a
already
Western
a
Conference
Western.
team.
Well, they split up the. I mean,
everything's
Texas
bigger in
right now.
Texas, right?
Okay,
You know?
so anyways, just a quick little thought.
No,
I
that
mean,
was a great thing to bring up because
Great
I have
thing.
not even thought about that. That is right. 2 extra East Coast
Yeah.
teams next year who can't be on the West. They're
We'll take
physically
them.
on the water
I'd
of the
rather take
East.
KC.
I would
Right on
too.
the
That'd be
Atlantic.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, playing
That'd be
KC
fun.
that many times
It'd be good. It's a good
That would
rivalry.
make the Western Conference so strong.
and get some
It
good
would.
barbecue more
Oh
often.
man, away trips.
You like going to Kansas
I
City?
love going to Kansas
I need
City,
to
It's
go.
a great place.
If you've never been
I've
to
never
Kansas
been.
City,
I've been to St.
go.
Louis,
Cauldron
not
is
Kansas.
amazing
I
at
wanna go.
hosting other teams, and they have amazing barbecue.
You know, I did miss the Kansas City trip with the RCB last year, but I heard it was amazing.
Oh, it was so much
and
fun.
I
Hansel.
regret. No, I'm saying I regret
I
going.
know, yeah.
Did you really just cool story, Hansel?
Yeah, I did.
Oh man, we're gonna have a fight later. We are gonna have a fight later. Oh.
Next topic.
When they-
Next topic. So, this is actually the most important MLS v EPL game because it's the only one where we got a result. Seattle drew with Tottenham 3-3,
Mhm.
but beat Tottenham on non-PK goals.
Yeah.
It was 2-1 on real, not PK goals.
And it was
Goals still
a
in
fun game to watch.
Yes, goals are goals, but
Mhm.
you cannot deny that
Run-up
when
plays
you
better.
look at it, Seattle scored more real goals,
real enough play goals.
and that's something we should be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
This is all I'm saying.
I agree.
The
Good enough for government work.
Make a wish thing before. which
Oh,
was
yeah.
so,
That was
so
amazing.
good. Very
Seriously.
heartwarming.
Dude, Seattle, good
I
job.
tweeted that out
Oh,
during the
fuck,
game.
man.
I thought it was absolutely
Well,
incredible.
So I almost made a blunder. I
You really got
no,
this?
no. And,
All right,
but
do we need to go into
and-
this?
And well, I'm just gonna say this because this is awesome for Seattle because they really treated that kid like he was a full-on
They signed
signing.
him on a one-day
did.
contract.
They signed him on a
And
full
he
contract.
started.
Yeah.
But-
that
Did you
was
see his
great.
shot on goal?
Oh
It
yeah.
was good.
I mean, and you know, they treated everything from their Twitter was professional about it. It wasn't like, this kid, blah, blah, blah.
Check
No.
it out.
It was like,
it's
we just made a new signing, a new youth signing.
And you know what? We actually thought it was legitimate. We didn't
Oh,
know
yeah,
who this
I
kid
did.
was.
And, yeah,
Nephi showed us, and we were like, we have no idea who this
I was
person
like,
is.
who is this?
What youth program does it come from?
Must be a youth. So, I mean, they did a great job.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't know it was a Make-A-Wish thing.
No.
Neither of us did until we
No.
were watching that game at my house.
Yep, exactly. We
Yeah.
were sitting on the couch talking about it. And I
It
think
was-
he probably should have scored. And he even said,
We
he
talked about that,
He
man.
tweeted out later, he was like, yeah, I kind of regret not taking a better shot. Like,
It was a
dude,
good shot, but it was right to the
if
You
keeper.
know-
had a one-on-none,
only
the
MLS game
keeper-
you'll ever play.
only keeper to beat, he could have at
There's
least
so
had
much-
some fun with it.
There's so much pressure.
Well,
Yeah.
what we talked about, and I actually want your opinion on this because we talked about it. Had he scored, would they have counted it?
Absolutely, they would have
Of
counted
course.
Oh man,
He was-
because they gave him a free sub.
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
They gave Seattle a free sub
Yeah, and it was
For
on
that.
the fly, too. It wasn't
on the
like-
fly. Well, they didn't even stop. Well, I mean, they stopped play,
Yeah.
but they did an on the fly sub because it was. And I mean, no one defended, so it was
What
a
are you
show.
gonna do? Cut the kid down with a studs on tackle? Kid's got what, like cystic
Give him a
fibrosis?
battle
Like,
card to
come
remember
on.
by.
Yeah, man.
Of course.
Yeah, tear
my
his ACL.
my
Go,
first
way to
and
go.
only MLS game ever. I got cleaned out by an EPL player.
I'd be,
Gave him
I'd be
studs
proud of
up.
that.
He doesn't even like Tottenham, so it would
Luis
have been even
Suarez
better.
bit me on the shoulder.
Yeah. I would die happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would punch Luis Suarez in the face
I-
though.
Cut that, just tattoo it.
Tattoo
his
his
bite
marks
marks
on
in.
your shoulder.
Oh, that'd be weird.
I don't want to bring that up.
Oh man.
That's gonna go into some weird places.
Anyway.
Let's move on here. This has been a fun show so far.
Has
been. Yeah.
This has been a good show. Thank you for joining us on Passively Offside, as always.
I'm Luis Suarez.
As fun as Luis Suarez. By the way, anyone who is watching, which it's showing me one, so at least one of you is watching out there,
Boris.
feel free to hit. It's Boris.
It's Boris.
Boris, feel free to hit us up on Twitter because we'll read your tweets,
Hit
even
us
though
up
you're
on
part of this.
Tinder.
Tinder game strong.
Keep it
Are you,
clean.
are you Tindering right now?
No,
Keep it
dude,
clean.
I'm not gonna do
You're
that.
Tindering right now.
No, I'm gonna go onto the Twitter page
He's
so I can
on
live
He's
respond.
on Tinder right
I
now.
can
So-
live tweet. back
So
to
no,
him.
really, if you do want to talk to us, our Twitter is @passively_off. You can write to us on Facebook at facebook.com/passively_offside. You can comment on YouTube; it'll pop up
Yeah.
for me. So yeah, talk to us. Just a reminder, mid-show. So this isn't huge, and I don't want to talk too much about it, but
We don't be homers.
we're and really again, we're not now an RSL podcast, but I saw this in the news around here, and other teams are doing this too. I know Sporting is doing this as well.
Sporting's doing it in a big way.
Mhm.
Sporting's doing it in a big way. But the thing that I saw funny about this,
Okay.
RSL, the headline was Real Salt Lake is considering a minor league team stadium at the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
I just like that it said minor league.
Well, it's a minor league.
But I
Yeah.
get that, but just say what the league is.
I don't think they know what the league is.
Okay. I guess
Okay.
I'm just being assuming what
You're
I
assuming
mean-
that the reporters here in Salt Lake know what ASL and NASL actually.
No, I'm assuming that RSL knows what it is and
Oh,
that they
yeah.
would report it.
Well, they probably did, but you got to remember, we're talking about reporters who probably don't. They followed the World Cup, and that was.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. It's probably going to be an NASL team.
Yeah, it is.
Probably.
It is. And how big did you say their stadiums reported?
From the plans, they said it's going to be 7,000. That's 7,000 seat stadium, and it's going to be open in 2016. Which
Better break ground quick.
will
Yeah, they're getting
I mean,
close.
come on.
That's a year and a half.
no that and
Then
that's
they're gonna work 12 months a year. 8
it's
days
not
a
going to
week.
take them that long.
Okay.
How long has San Jose been working on
We're not
theirs?
San Jose.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. We've got.
That stadium doesn't look good. I'm sorry.
Nah.
It doesn't look good.
I don't know.
You said you liked it. I don't like
kinda
it.
like it a little
My
bit.
my
Let's
one
get back
quick
on
point
top.
on this is, according to what I've read from RSL and the tweets they've sent back to me, the youth
Ooh,
development
wow,
is
let you
going to
go.
be their bread and butter for player talent. That they really don't plan on spending the cash when the
Yeah.
CBA goes up
Well, we already have the RSL Youth Academy
Mhm.
in Arizona.
in Arizona.
From the Youth Academy, you go NASL,
Yes.
play at the fairgrounds in Salt Lake, which is basically downtown.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not familiar with Salt Lake City, which you are because, Boris, you're the only one watching right now, the fairgrounds is right outside of downtown, just west of it. So
5 minutes away.
Yeah. It's really...
There's light rail running to it. It's right off all the major freeways. The airport it's halfway between downtown and the airport.
Yeah.
Because the airport is basically downtown.
Yeah, basically,
And this RSL is also supposed to be bringing in another youth academy to Salt Lake. So
I
we're
would
supposed to
rather
have
build
2 youth
a new,
academies.
bigger
2
stadium
youths.
at the fairground and let NASL use the Riot.
Wow.
Because I just want a stadium downtown that we can go watch RSL at.
Yeah.
I wanted a stadium in Pioneer Park.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
It would have been.
Anyway,
tall.
let's not talk too much about Salt Lake because, you know.
Well, the other note I want to make really quick on this is if you besides Boris are watching this, if you are Chicago, New England, Colorado, start putting pressure on your front office and
Management.
and say, hey, when CBA comes out, what's your game plan? Have a game plan. What is it? Because fanship will be what drives what they do.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Puts butts in the
We
seats.
can. I mean, a little bit.
You're excited about it.
No, I
You've been
am.
talking about it
You
for a
were all
long
over the
time.
Twitter
Okay,
machine
because
about
here's a big thing with this. So CBA will be negotiated by players.
Yep.
Now, so what MLS is going to look at is, okay, you want higher wages. Well, higher wages means hopefully better talent. Well,
Yep.
if better talent's coming in, then we expect fans to now start coming and watching.
Yep.
Not just to the games, but on TV.
So you're going to have teams like Seattle, RSL, because we sell out
Yeah, we sell it out.
Riot, Sporting,
Yes.
Portland.
Yep.
Those are going to be big ones. LA, maybe. I don't know. They haven't been great with their fan base.
Watching
recently.
some of their lives. Colorado, we just looked at. Their
No.
stadium wasn't full.
And it's
Yeah,
a
it was
Friday night,
13th
Colorado.
minute.
It's a
But it
Friday
should be
night.
more
They all
full.
got high and forgot.
Well, okay, but here's the thing.
No, look at Seattle. Seattle shows up anyway.
but
They have
that's
all that coffee in their system that keeps them going.
but if fans want changes like this with higher salaries, better
Mhm.
players, start watching.
Absolutely, and I think the ESPN deal will really help.
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
So do I. But it's that catch-22. It's like, well, you want more money? Bring in us better fans.
Yep.
More fans.
I definitely think the ESPN contract will help that.
Well, because you have to remember, I think if the continuation of fans that are showing up to games continues through the rest of the season, this will be the first year MLS breaks even.
Wow.
That's true. I forgot about that.
So you really can't fault MLS for being a little bit like, well,
Bring us more money and we'll let you
we
spend more. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, that is a fair assessment.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk more about that as it gets closer to the
Yes.
end of the season. I know Nephi is itching to do.
Oh, I want more.
He
news
wants to
on
do
this,
a
like,
whole show
every
on
day.
it.
I wanna
When
talk
it gets
CBA,
announced, we
guys.
will do a whole show.
You
on
can't
it.
just
I'll do it by
decide
myself.
that.
I'll do it by myself.
Let's talk some CBA, guys.
Guys,
cool.
guys,
Come on,
we got
guys.
CBA.
Let's talk some CBA. Let's talk CBA.
All right, now that we're all on crack, let's
Yes.
continue. We've got a couple more topics here. There's a big signing in Houston.
Ooh, yes.
There's a big signing in Houston. Who was signed to Houston?
DeMarcus Beasley.
Beasley.
MB.
Yep.
Big DeMarcus Beasley.
Running
I don't know why I said
DMB.
He's not the big guy.
Yeah.
He's really not that big of a
He's
guy.
not.
I said the big
He's
guy.
not a guy.
No, he's not. But
He's a speedy guy.
he's very speedy,
Yes.
and this is a huge signing for Houston.
Mhm.
I mean, DeMarcus Beasley's like 80 years old, but he's so good.
Oh yeah.
He has
Grandpa Beast
Three.
with his walker, like just trucking down that side.
How old is he? He's got to be like 40.
32.
He's only 32?
But he's been on like 3 World Cup rosters.
4.
4.
Oh my god.
The guy has been playing. in
He's been playing
epic
forever.
World Cup
He might be
soccer.
34. He's
32?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. What are we doing with our lives?
Oh my god.
yeah.
He's been playing in World Cups
For 16 years.
Oh my god. That's
More
ridiculous.
than half my life he's been playing.
Half
in
his
World
life.
Cups.
He's 32.
Exactly.
Half his life he's
Wow,
been playing World
good
Cups.
for
He started
him.
his first was when he was 16.
2001.
South Korea
So
/
free of them.
Japan World Cup.
2001, he started
Yeah.
playing for the U.S. He has
Same one Landon Donovan started. If he
He
would have been,
has-
both of them would have been 4-time.
He has 120 appearances and 17 goals with the U.S., 4 appearances and 2 goals with the U20, and 6 appearances with 1 goal with the U17.
And he's from the U.S. That's so great.
Well, that there, I think, is the
From
biggest
Indiana.
thing.
Yeah.
Is that I'm glad that we're getting more American DPs.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
It
agree.
might be a little bit. Well, actually, no. Only 2 of them are older, unless Jermaine Jones finally comes through at some point in time.
Come on, Jones.
Yeah,
No one wants to
Jermaine.
pay the money.
I'll pay the money.
I know you would pay
I
the
don't
money.
have that money.
I know you don't.
I'm
have
sorry.
that money.
I can write it on a silver paper on a yellow legal pad and slide it across
I owe
the table.
you. Da-da-da.
Here's my offer. $33. Take it or leave it.
That's what I have in my savings
This is-
account, so it's yours.
This is my final offer, Jermaine Jones.
I don't think you'd take it.
No.
So why is this important?
Well, well, of course, it's coming off the World Cup year,
Yeah.
so there's still that hype. He was amazing for the
He
World
played
Cup.
his brains out.
I think that's really it. It's bringing that name that we associated with the World Cup back to MLS.
Does this mean Houston's going to the playoffs again?
No.
No? You don't think they're getting there?
Oh, I didn't say they weren't getting there. It's all like we were just discussing. This is a big climb for them.
Yeah.
And they did make another DP signing, just so everyone knows. It's not who I thought it was.
Pronounce his name.
You were going to go Jones.
I thought it was.
You thought it was Jones.
From
thought
what
it was
the
JJ.
from what the owner said, he in his statement yesterday on Extra Time Radio was it is a World Cup veteran. Didn't say which team.
Yep.
Mhm.
And plays center mid, and was in this World
He
Cup.
wanted you to think Jones.
I think
He
they
was
wanted.
just teasing you.
Yeah.
He was just hanging that Jermaine Jones
Yeah,
hair right
and
in front
I
of
might
you,
have
like, hey,
misheard
what's
one
up?
part because I guess later on they said, "Oh, and he played and he started in all 3 World Cup games he was in."
Mm.
Which, if I would have heard then, I'd be like, "No, it's not."
yeah.
But it's the Honduran center mid. I can't remember his
Give
name.
you $1 if you can pronounce it correctly.
I
I
can't
even
remember.
do it.
Yeah, but center mid, 23, long-term signing for Houston. Great job.
Mm-hmm.
I think Houston's going to start looking real good, so
Yeah,
Upswing for them.
depends on when
Ooh.
these guys start.
and DeMarcus will be playing at left back.
Oh, good for him. Good for him.
That's where he's playing during the World Cup.
That's not what he plays. He's a winger.
Yeah.
Even for his club team, he was a winger.
Open mouth, insert foot.
No. No,
I know
actually-
things.
No, most people. I don't blame you on this.
Yeah.
Because he played in the Mexican League. Who watches Mexican? Do you watch Mexican League?
Bro, do you even watch Mexican League
What
soccer?
channel?
What
channel is it on?
Anyways, most people would know that his
Sorry.
whole life, he was a left mid.
Yeah.
And Klinsmann was like, I would like you to play left back, and he did it through. I think his first game was at Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and did amazing.
Yeah, 'cause
And
he has that speed.
oh yeah, that's the
He can
thing.
get up and down the field.
He
so
covers
fast.
ground.
Yeah.
And with him and Davis on the left, that is going to be one potent side.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about New York.
Ooh,
Who did New York sign? NYFC, by the way, not Red Bulls.
Some really old dude.
Luis Suarez.
Luis Suarez? No.
Frank Lampard
Frank
from
Lampard.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Also on the English national team.
Mhm.
I don't have much to say about that.
They're just,
I think, if you haven't already
Throwing
listened to
money
a lot
at
that's going on with him, quick rundown. There's a big hoopla because apparently he said something about 9/11 that was really iffy when it happened.
Oh,
Which
wow.
best team to play for
Yeah,
right
really.
now if you're going to talk
According
crap
to
on
him,
9/11.
it was
Yeah.
tabloids in England that completely.
In his defense, from what I know, through the few people that I know from England, the tabloids in England are awful.
Oh, they're
They
bro,
are
horrendous.
so
drag you
bad.
through the mud.
And he actually made a statement to the public, in his interview saying, no, that's not the case. That's not what I said. Great signing, still has good years.
Yep.
Says he's here to dominate, not to enjoy a beach. Ashley Cole.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes, I'm looking at you, Boris, because that's the only person watching.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's
still says one. I mean, this thing's never right, so if you're not Boris and you're watching, hi,
Hi.
thanks for tuning in. That about wraps it up for us.
Does
Actually, we're just
Oh,
about
wow.
at the end here. We've got a
We're-
few predictions.
Okay.
Did you say predictions?
I said
Oh my
predictions!
God, predictions! You got a prediction. You got a prediction. You got a prediction. Everybody got some prediction.
Well, really, you guys are
Oh, yeah,
getting
that's
two
fine.
each. So, do you want to, Nephi? Do you want to give me Toronto versus Sporting?
I said SKC. Just because, like
Who
I
didn't?
said earlier.
I think we all did.
We all said
I think we all
Toronto
did.
hasn't been on their best game. I think Kansas City is going on that upswing. I'm riding that KC train.
Run that KC train.
Well, and Jermaine Defoe's out, so.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's out on yellow card suspension.
Oh,
Yeah.
good call. Look at you being
I
smart.
was doing research, bro.
I am so proud of you lately.
Research, bro.
Yeah.
And then I've got, who is it? Montreal.
You've got
PDX.
Montreal and PDX,
PDX.
which we all
Man.
said.
I mean, if
That's-
you watch the last Montreal game against RSL, which was a horrendous game. I mean, bleh.
Yeah. Let's
And
not get
then,
into that.
Yeah, and the way that Portland's been playing. Portland, if you don't win this,
We're coming to your
Shame on
house
you.
and we're peeing on your rug.
We're gonna
we're peeing on your rose bushes.
cut the chains on your.
Is that
fixies.
worse than rug?
They're the Rose
The
City.
Rose City, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was smart. That was
Yeah.
smart.
Right?
You
Can
were,
we cut all the hipster beards off?
yeah.
Just shave them all off.
You're just really upset about beards right now.
Everybody.
Look at that little
Just-
scruff he's got going on. Look at
I
his
shave
scruff.
every Sunday whether I need it
Look,
or
he's
not.
got a little
right?
mustache.
I try.
Isn't that cute?
I try.
Adorable.
Work. I have to do it for work, guys.
All right,
Yeah,
Splendid.
I
Give me
have to
Vancouver
chill.
versus Dallas.
Vancouver and Dallas, FC Dallas, while yes, they did win last week, I think Vancouver is going to be too much for them. I'm trying to remember the name of the Vancouver coach, but I can't right now.
I can only think of Caleb Porter because
Robinson.
we were talking about
His last name
PDX.
is something Robinson,
Okay.
but he was saying that RSL and Vancouver is going to be a
Huh.
new rivalry.
Did you hear that they got
And
fined?
so yeah, for
We got
sure.
fined for that fight.
Starting stuff.
Good.
Last week.
We got a warning, and then they've got a fine. Both the coach and the.
It's not gonna be a rivalry. We don't care about you.
But
Said
either
we
way,
again. I almost went the
You-
whole show. I almost went the whole show
you're
without.
getting better. All right.
Oh man.
Getting
You
better.
know,
I I feel
Yeah.
bad about this. I
It's
almost went the
okay,
whole
we're
show
MLS podcast because of the ball.
because of the ball.
Because ball. But either
RSL
way,
doesn't care about Vancouver as a rivalry.
Vancouver, I'm giving the win to Vancouver.
Everyone but Nephi is.
Yep.
By the way, going back to Kansas City and Toronto, we said everyone gave it to Kansas City. Actually,
Yeah.
Brandon gave a draw.
Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of homers.
I got a draw in that game.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
All right, give me Rebs versus Crew.
Revs and Crew, we were talking about this earlier. Revs not exactly on the upswing. Hopefully they will be. Crew kind of holding even. I gave it a draw. I think it'll be an exciting one. Not a boring check your watch every 5 minutes. Is it the 90th yet? I think it'll be like
If it
a
is, I'm
2-2
turning it off.
It'll be like a 2-2 draw, I hope.
Hmm.
If not, then somebody's going to win and I'll be wrong.
I just realized our predictions are exactly the same. 100%.
Oh, man.
100% the
Did
same.
you guys do them together?
No,
Were you
we-
like cuddling together?
No,
Just,
I make the table
Splendid,
and
let's
then
do
I do.
predictions. Okay, and then you guys just send ball in at once. Huh?
No, it's a short week. There's not many. There's a lot of disparity in teams. It's really bad.
Thank you for joining us tonight, guys. Anyone out there? I've enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
This has been a
Thank
good
you.
one. Yeah.
Seriously, you guys are welcome to talk to us if you're out there.
Please shoot us
Please.
Shoot us
anything you
questions
know.
if you have
Yes.
stuff you want us to talk about next podcast.
Absolutely.
Throw it on. We'll
Yes.
discuss.
As always, feel free to, this only has these two on it, but feel free to join us on Twitter at passively_off, at Facebook at facebook.com/passively_offside, and at passively_offside.blogspot.com. I obviously need to update this image. You can also email us at passively_offside@gmail.com.
Mhm.
So there's that. Thank you once again for joining us. You have something else to say?
I was gonna say, if you're really passionate and you really want to get a point out, we actually might consider taking your call like we do with Boris.
Oh,
I would love to have
yeah.
people call in.
Yeah,
I know we're not that big of a show,
No, we're not.
guys.
but
We
like,
do this for fun, and hopefully one day it takes off. But we know a lot of
Still
our
waiting.
friends watch the show, and if you guys want to call in,
call
let us
in.
know before.
Yeah,
I don't want to give my phone number out to a bunch of creepers though.
I'm gonna give your phone number out to a bunch of
Oh,
people.
good.
No, that's gonna happen.
Craigslist
Ooh.
post.
Yeah, no, that's happening.
All right, fine.
Anyway, again, thank you for joining us for the Passively Offside team. I'm Dr. Pepper.
I'm
Good
Luis
night.
Suarez.